and welcome to my second energy update. And this one's a little bit later than I had originally planned. And honouring my own energy, I was absolutely railroaded by frequencies that were coming in kind of January, February. And I'm kind of popping my head up above the surface since then. So on a personal level, I just have not had the energy to align behind showing up actually. I had to really listen to my own feelings and go internal. So the energy that we've been experiencing since kind of January, February, and the start of the year basically has been like this massive rebirth energy. So a big creator kind of energy where everything has been like wiped clean. So if you can imagine, the whole world systems are just falling down. And with that, our internal systems are also falling down. So we are being pushed to look at systems actually on a big scale. So we have schools, education systems, how we live, how we work, how we do relationships. Everything is kind of coming up to be redefined. And along with that comes our internal system that is also coming up to be redefined. And for me, it's just been a big kind of upsurge of really like old traumas, kind of residual things that are in my system that I thought maybe would have been cleared. And I've been working through a lot of my stuff in the last few years, just kind of clearing out old stuck energies, old beliefs, all of that. And a lot of stuff has just come up recently for me and my clients to really clear and let go of. And this has come up in the form of kind of intense energies, like there's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and it's been mirrored with my clients as well. So big triggers, kind of family triggers, triggers around relationships in particular. So a topic of needs and looking after your needs has been really present as well. And this comes into relationships where we expect somebody else to take care of our needs. And the reason that this has come up is because we are being pushed in this creator energy to ask ourselves, what do we want? And we can only tune into wants when we don't have any needs. So it's really important now to look at your needs as like this kind of inner child energy of what you might need and where you're looking for it or seeking for it externally. So really we're being pushed from the external world to the internal world to go in, to look at what is in our system to clear out. And it's a really good time to clear out because we're in this spring energy now. We've just stepped into spring energy, so it's time to spring clean. And for me, I'm really feeling that like little lift of energy, thankfully, because anybody who's been holding on or going through the same has been experiencing a really big, tired, like sticky, heavy energy. So if you've been feeling particularly tired over the last few weeks, maybe even month, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just experiencing this kind of transformational energy shift. And this is the energy that I was talking about in the last video, where we're being pushed to let go of the material world, pushed to become more resilient, pushed to become lighter, to need less. So really to let go of material on many different aspects. And in that, if we're busy trying to hold on, or like we're eating foods that are heavy and dense, or we're surrounding ourselves with people that we're not congruent with anymore, or we're engaging in activities that no longer light us up, they're from old patterns, old programs, old ways of being, we're going to have been experiencing this really kind of heavy energy surge. So the surge brought me really down into myself, and a lot of my clients were the same. Every day I was getting messages saying how tired people were and how much they just felt like they had no energy. And in all of that, the more people looked at what was coming up for them, the lighter they got. And if you're looking at taking care of yourself on a body level, on a food level, it's really important right now to tune into the food that you're eating, the frequency of the food, how light is it, how heavy is it actually giving you more energy, or is it taking away from you? For me, I've been pushed really far away from food actually, from almost a not needing state. And this comes from when you're taking care of your energy on every level. So you're really not having any energy leakages through like over giving to people. You're not trying to take care of everybody else, and you start to take care of yourself. So this brings us into looking at self-love, self-care. Self-care has come up in a big way, and again, it's being triggered by the relationship topics. So when we are busy trying to take care of somebody else, we miss taking care of ourselves. And in that, we're also hoping or wishing or wanting for the other person to take care of us. And we have this kind of misconstrued idea of what a relationship actually is. So in this kind of frequency of taking care, we kind of get stuck on this like codependency scale in a relationship. And this has kind of really come up to transform as well. So this is where we start to go internal, look at what part of us we're not taking care of. And this is basic need stuff. Are you saying, like, self-care sometimes gets very far away from what it actually is. We kind of go into like going to the spa or getting our hair done or having a massage. And these things are nice to do for yourself, but they're all external. Self-care and self-love is really saying no when you mean no, and not saying yes to something that you really don't feel to do. And it could be something really simple, like asserting your time boundaries with somebody, how much time you spend with someone, the moment that you feel like you'd like to do something else, to kind of stand for what you want and speak it. And so that we're not building this kind of frustration and anger energy, which has been coming up on a massive scale with me and a lot of my clients. With me, it came up more of a collective level where I felt it through my body. It came out through my skin. I got like a skin rash when I wasn't listening to myself. I wasn't taking care of my needs. I was kind of overexpending my energy, doing things for other people and not doing what I wanted, which really pushed me to look at why I was doing that. So there's always gifts in your behaviors. There's gifts and triggers, and me and a lot of my clients have been triggered in a massive way, in like really intense ways over the last kind of month or so. And the triggers are always gifts. So for me, it's like, oh wow, I'm triggered, what's going on? And it's kind of to step out of it being heavy or bad or trying to run away from the feelings that we might have, and to allow them in and to open up a little bit to these new feelings or these feelings that you've been busy running away from. So we're really being pushed again to be present and become more aware of our feelings. So awareness comes in on a massive scale here. It will really help you if you're in this kind of triggered mode where you're kind of going around angry and frustrated and you don't really know what's wrong, but you know you don't feel good. It's good to try and bring in a layer of awareness between you and what's happening, so that you can start to observe yourself, observe your patterns, what's going on for you, what is showing up for you, what topics are present, what were you doing when you started to feel like this? Was it something somebody said? What gift is there for you in how you feel? There's always something to clear. So there's always something to acknowledge, and it always comes back to you. So it's to stop this blame and anger energy being projected externally at other people and what other people are doing and how other people aren't taking care of our needs. And to look at why you're not asserting yourself and taking care of yourself and taking care of your own needs. So we're switching from that pointing externally to point internal, to really see and feel what's going on for us. So this has been like a very big kind of chaotic air frequency, chaos sort of transformation type movement phase that we're going through at the moment. So it will feel very much like you're in a storm. If you're being kind of pulled and pushed by other people's wants and needs and what other people want you to do, and not listening to yourself. So for me, I kind of got a little bit swept into the storm in moments where I kind of lost my feet and couldn't really feel what I wanted or what I needed or what I wanted to do or create. And in that, it was very important for me to come back to the eye of the storm, center myself, ground myself in my body, in my personal practice, so that I could start to feel myself again. And then I got myself back into the center, the eye of the storm, so I could see the chaos around me. And in order to do that, I had to connect to the sort of empowered masculine traits, which are directing energy. So if we're in this chaotic energy, which is like the female creativity, we need this kind of direction and clear commitment and intention to align behind. So we need the chaos and the rod to set direction. So it's like the masculine and feminine, and we're kind of been pushed to look at the synergy of these and how they are in our own system. So if we're too much up in the air and too much in chaos energy, we'll struggle to get things done. We will struggle to find our feet. We will struggle to feel grounded. We will just be kind of pushed and pulled all over the place and kind of floating through life instead of setting clear direction and then being creative through it. So it's good to have a combination of both, because it doesn't really work if you're living in one side or the other. You need to have both in your system to be kind of effective and align yourself behind what you want to create and really set clear intention and take action towards what you want. So right now it's really important to notice if you are more in that kind of air floaty frequency, and if you feel like you're just being pushed and pulled by storms that are happening around you, and this can be through your work, if you feel like there's too many people pulling out of you, your family, maybe you've just got too many things external going on, and in all of that you're putting yourself last every single time, is to tune back in, to ground yourself through a personal practice. And for me, personal practice has come up in a really big way actually, to stay in my body so that I don't float away into the chaos that's happening around the world right now, and energetically it's just being mirrored in our lives and how we feel internally, to really ground myself here into my personal practice so that I am creating time and space in a really kind of intentional, ritualistic way to set my intentions for the day, align my energy behind it, and then take action. So I'm not just kind of going with the flow too much. So intuition is really important right now. And for those who are kind of feeling a lot of new things in their bodies, getting a lot more access to different densities of energies, maybe you're having crazy vivid dreams, maybe you're having new sensations and feelings in your body, you're just kind of upgrading your frequency into more of the intuition air frequency, which is great, but it's really important to stay grounded in it so that you don't kind of float away and get lost in the sky and you still have your feet on the ground. So the energy that we're moving into for spring is this really rebirth energy for Christ consciousness. So it's like Easter. So we're dying and being reborn again. So for me, I've aligned behind checking in with my body and to make sure I'm embodying it here on earth and that I'm looking after this vessel. So I'm doing a cleanse, I'm doing some plant medicine to clear myself out, some kambo, and I'm going to do an iboga ceremony, which is another plant medicine, over the actual Easter weekend, because it's a really powerful weekend to spring clean, set intentions and align yourself behind your new direction and what you want to create. The creative energy is really live right now. And again, it's asking yourself what you want. And if you do not know what you want, I did this last year. I wrote down on a piece of paper every day, I do not know what I want. I tried to just connect in that way of like, I just accepted that I didn't know what I wanted. And then it gradually started to emerge what I wanted. And it was from a place of really connecting deep down inside to why I'm here, my purpose. And a lot of people's purposes are coming online right now. So there is this kind of reboot, kind of fresh action energy that's available for anyone who kind of connects finally behind what they want to do. But in order to do that, you have to let go of all of these old densities of systems and the way things are or were, and letting go of the systems that are already breaking down globally anyway. Like the banking system's changing, the way we move around is changing, and we're really being pushed on a freedom level. So you might be feeling this kind of anger and frustration because we're kind of been pushed and compressed to sit still. And in that, it's kind of like a stifling kind of energy. We feel like we're not free, but actually that's a gift in itself, to feel into this I don't feel free, and to create freedom inside yourself and to end this war that's going on internally. So the battles that we cause for ourselves every day, and to tune back in. So really, like I said, if you're triggered and you're finding yourself being triggered by many different scenarios, is to not judge yourself for being triggered, go easy on yourself, but to try and not be in reaction and just step outside of yourself to bring more awareness in, so that we can actually have a look at what's going on. So we have this new perspective, we're widening our awareness and widening who we are, and like just expanding outwards so that we can feel more. And then we step out of these kind of sludgy layers of illusions that I kind of feel that people have started to pop their head up over, that are going on at the moment. And it's just the energy that we're in right now in the world, where we are planetary wise, the year that we're in, it's just this like new era. So it's a complete rebirth energy, and it's to really deal with the stuff that is holding you back or limiting you so that you can't chase your dreams, follow your purpose, redefine who you are, redefine how you do relationships, redefine how you work, redefine how you school your children or how you study or learn things, redefine how you experience life, redefine everything that you want to redefine. Start to ask more questions. Why am I operating the way I am operating? Why am I staying with this old system that I don't agree with and doesn't serve me anymore? Am I in fear and in a contracted state, or am I in expansion, in a heart state, love frequency? And this is really coming online right now, actually, the heart frequency. So for those who are sensitive, you'll start to feel the heart chakra expanding. So the heart energy, heart awareness, just feeling more in your heart, more compassion, more empathy, being able to feel other people's bodies, and really tuning into that like love frequency that we all have available to us, and making decisions from there instead of from a place of fear, survival, contraction. So really, we're going to start to see the polarities of these on a more intense level, fear versus love. And it's to be consciously choosing what you want and all of that. And if you are experiencing this like heart opening energy where you start to feel more, and to not be afraid of it, but also to try your best not to project it onto people who can't receive it, because sometimes we spend a lot of our time and energy projecting this heart frequency or this love to somebody who's just not able to receive it. It feels dangerous to them, they're not ready for it. It's just not the frequency that they're able to communicate with right now. And we can waste our time and energy on trying to communicate with someone who just can't receive us. Or we can just keep vibrating who we are, and by law of resonance attract the same. So we allow the people who we don't resonate with right now to fall away. And it's okay to allow to do that, because if you're not resonating with somebody and you're continually trying to make it work out of a place of fear or not wanting to let go of the relationship or the friendship or the connection, it's to know that actually that's keeping everyone in pain by trying to keep it going, because you're just seeing how different you feel to that person, and you're just being shown continually how you don't resonate. So it's like two vibrating atoms. If you were to look at people as atoms and they're vibrating at completely different frequencies, they can't communicate because the bridge is too far away. So it's to continue to share who you are and be who you are, and start to put it out there. Use your voice. The throat chakra is really coming up in a way that we need to express ourselves. And this is because we're in creator energy as well. So creator energy is all about expression. It's like speaking, using your voice, learning how to ask for what you want, learning how to express your feelings and your emotions, learning how to express what's coming up and through you and from the inside, like deep down in your core. And then if we can't express ourselves, look at why the throat might be blocked. Okay, when I was 5, I was told that I need to be quiet and good girls are quiet. And, you know, there could be small little traumas, but just going into the reason why we struggle to express ourselves. Maybe in school I expressed myself and everyone laughed. Or maybe my mother always told me that I should be quiet for whatever reason, her own trauma is acting out. And it's not, that didn't happen to me, but I'm just saying. And it's like the fear of expressing yourself. What does it mean if I put myself out there and be vulnerable? And it's the not allowing vulnerability that will stop us from actually sharing who we are and what we're here to bring to the world. So what vibration are you adding to the conversation of the universe? And I said this before, we're really shifting to air frequency, and it's electric energy. So it's really active, it's changeable, it's transformation energy. So it's not about like throwing everything away. We can transform things, we can transform relationships. We don't have to have these big massive fallouts or breakups. It's kind of to allow things to be as they are, and to step outside of yourself and just become more aware of what you're creating. What are you in? Are you happy in your current environment? Do you resonate with the people around you? Are you congruent with the work that you're doing? And what beliefs are holding you in these positions? What do you feel responsible for that is not your responsibility? Are you holding responsibility for other people? This is one of the most disempowering things you can do for yourself, like stifling, really stifling for yourself, but also for the other person. When we hold responsibility for a person, we don't allow them to look at their own stuff. So we're busy taking care of somebody else. And in that, we're using our energy to hold their responsibility. And in that, they feel good, they get soothed, but they don't get to look at their pain. And the most loving thing you can do is to allow someone the opportunity to look at their pain and not soothe it. So be there for each other, reach out. Also very important right now, if you're feeling like you're in that chaos energy and you need guidance, ask for help. Go to someone that you feel is resonant with you. You feel attracted to them. And this is how all of my clients come to me. They just feel I have something for them, and I would not have it any other way. I only want to attract people who resonate with me. And if they feel I have something for them, I do. So really starting to trust your intuition, trust how you feel in your body about something, trust that gut instinct over the head and the logic and what you should be doing. Because this is where we're being pushed to go as well. It's the air of change that we're moving into this lighter frequency, which is less about being stuck in the head, and more about coming down into the body and feeling what we feel and relating to things differently, and asking our body what it wants, asking how our body is doing right now. Actually, how is your body doing? Are you looking after it? Are you taking care of this vessel, or are you putting yourself last and really not looking after the basics? So this is like tuning back in, time for a spring clean. So my best advice right now is to go in, feel how you feel. Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel angry, frustrated with your situation? Where are you projecting that externally? And where can you take it back and see what you're creating and manifesting for yourself, so that you can really clear out space physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally for what you want. And then we tune into this crazy manifestation energy that's going on right now. So it's like I almost have to be careful what I speak out, because it just manifests so quickly. And it's really tuning into the power of that we all have inside of us. When we get super clear, the value of doing all of this energy work to clear your system and to become lighter and more connected and more aware, is that you then tune into how you are just a magnet for who you are. So the clearer you are about who you are and your frequency and what you want, you become it, the more you attract it. And this is just law of resonance. This is how we manifest things. Then it becomes setting a clear intention for what you want, opening space for it and speaking it out. And it just comes back to you. So I would be curious to hear anyone's stories of what they've manifested over the last few months, because for me, it's been crazy. And always being kind of aware of what you're speaking out and what you're saying to the universe that you want, and what you're feeling all day, because where your energy and your attention goes is what grows. So if you're worrying about something, or you're feeling like something might happen, or you're afraid something might happen, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get it. Tuning into this awareness of how we're always manifesting from our feelings. So if we feel bad, we're worried, we're afraid, we're going to manifest more scary experiences to show us what's going on. If we feel abundant, flowing, vibrant, inflow at what we're doing, we're just going to attract what we want in that as well. So really tuning in to your own manifestation creator capacity right now, and tuning into your body, checking in to see if you need anything physically. If you need a detox from people, a detox in food, eating lighter foods. For me, it's like I'm really just letting go more and more of kind of frequency of eating, densities of foods. Like really just the more I take care of my energy flows, the less I need. So getting to this not needing state, which is the state then where you get to really feel what you want. So we're shifting from needs to wants. And in order to do that, we have all of this trauma to let go of along the way. And just on a practical tip before I finish the video, because I think I've pretty much said what I feel to say today. To let go of trauma, there's many ways to do it, and it doesn't need to be this big painful experience, and we don't need to be afraid of it. So a lot of people are running around avoiding their pain. They're avoiding their feelings, avoiding their emotions. They think it's like bad to feel sad, or it's bad to cry, or it's bad to feel upset, or you end up kind of judging yourself and wanting to get away from this depressive state. But actually there's so much gifts in allowing all feelings, and we only judge our feelings and our experiences as good or bad. And actually laughter is experienced the same in the body as a good cry. So you get the same release from both, and they both involve shaking. So when we laugh, we shake. It's like full belly laughing. And when we really cry, we have that full belly crying as well. They're the exact same. And this shaking energy is literally shaking patterns and trauma out of your system. And this is where shamanic shaking, drumming, all of that comes in. Shamanic dancing, where it's all shaking energy. Also, orgasm energy is shaking energy. So it's tuning into how you want to release your trauma. There's many ways to do it. And to explore it all, to not get stuck in one way, or it has to be a certain way, or to run away from the crying and the release that you can get from that. So yeah, please share any experiences you would like to share with me that resonate. And if it resonates, please like and share the video, and I will see you in the next energy update, hopefully sooner than the last one. I almost forgot I wanted to do a card reading today on the video. I've just been tuning in, and I've been doing my readings anyway today, so I just said I would like to pull a card for the collective, which is something I haven't done before, but I would like to start sharing it more because I do it as an almost daily practice myself. And so yeah, I'm going to ask Spirit what's the message for the collective, and any helpful kind of tips or some sort of insight that I can share. Just allowing. So the fourth ray of harmony came out. This is quite a nice card. And I will read you the explanation after I kind of share how I feel about it. And this feels like, if I look at the picture, it feels like the heart energy that I've been describing in this video, and that open and expansion of the heart energy that is happening right now and is available to anybody who wants to tune into it. So this really feels like this kind of energy that is coming online at the moment. And also the third eye is exploding. So like I was saying, we're getting a lot more intuitive abilities right now, and anyone who's experiencing new kind of visions, experiences in their body, feelings, sensations, is to pay attention to them right now. So I'm just going to go to that card. It's number 6 in the book, and I will read it out for you, or the basic message of it. So the fourth ray of harmony comes to you now with the qualities of beauty, harmony, and balance. It empowers you to complete a spiritual initiation. Any conflict you experience now serves your divine purpose. So that's about the conflict and the trauma that is coming up for us at the moment collectively, that we are being pushed to look at. So the triggers are gifts and they serve you. It will eventually become the fuel you need to be born anew. So this is about the rebirth energy. Something negative will be transformed into something positive. The Archangel Gabriel helps you to receive the blessings of the fourth ray of harmony now. When the fourth ray of harmony is active in your life, you are approaching a spiritual initiation, which creates a whole new person, a new you. And this is that same rebirth energy that I've really been feeling the last while. You may wonder if you have what it takes to get through this. You do, as you discover your strengths to be patient with the process, rather than trying to force an outcome prematurely. Eventually you will outgrow the conflict altogether, emerging wiser, more powerful as you. And this is interesting actually, because I forgot to mention that anybody who is pushing against the tiredness right now, they will really, really suffer, and they will really feel it in their bodies. So this is really about listening and going with the flow. And if you feel tired, to listen to it and take rest. The old way of being was to kind of achieve and push beyond how we feel. But actually now we're being pushed to listen more and to tune into how you feel and to go with the flow of energy, as opposed to pushing against it and swimming upstream. So rather than trying to force an outcome prematurely, eventually you will outgrow the conflict altogether, emerging wiser and more powerful. You will have gained a positive outcome from what was once considered to be a negative situation. When the fourth ray of harmony becomes stronger in your soul, avoid becoming scattered, out of balance, or swinging from one extreme to the other in thoughts, actions, and emotions. And this again is about that chaos energy and making sure that you align yourself behind what you want and set direction, and to not get pushed and pulled too much by the energy. You will need to keep grounding yourself and being moderate rather than all or nothing in your life choices. This will create your successful outcome more swiftly than trying to force something to happen immediately. So it's about like setting those seeds right now and really taking care for thinking more about long term and planning and setting the seeds for spring, so that you're being intentional and that the outcome will happen in the future and nothing won't happen straight away. The challenge and the gift of the fourth ray of harmony is increased sensitivity to beauty. Music takes on a whole new emotional depth. The beauty or chaos in your environment, and even the colors you wear, has more impact on you than usual. You can use this increased sensitivity to your advantage by choosing art, music, colors, and so on that feel good for you. So again, this is about tuning into that creator energy and the intuition energy, and to really tune into what you want to wear and what you want to express through everything that you're doing. So all of your actions, choices, what you eat, what you feel, what you wear, who you interact with, what you express, what you listen to, you're being more aware and more intentional with everything. The mainstream is still operating in a fear-based energy, which is very obvious with the collective right now, with the virus and everything that's going on. It's all fear-based energy, and emotion is the biggest contagion. So it's really important to step out of that stream if you're in it and you don't feel good in it. With an increased sensitivity, you can at times be more affected by this. If you are experiencing increased negativity, depression, doubt, fear, or emotional instability, this is likely why. You can overcome this without shutting down. When you sense it happening, respond with a loving discipline. So this again is how I was speaking about practice and what we should connect to in ourselves about taking care of ourselves and making sure we are grounding and being in our bodies and practicing so that we're not getting swept by these collective energies. You might meditate, journal, dance, create art, listen to music, exercise, have a bath, or spend time in nature to bring yourself back to balance. And that's what I mean when I say personal practice. It can be yoga, meditation, it can be doing the dishes in an intentional way, just being present with yourself. So it doesn't have to look normal. It can be painting, drawing, sketching, journaling, listening to music, creating music, singing, being in the bath. So whatever brings you, back to yourself, and makes you look in and just be instead of do. This ray has a special connection to the arts and guides you to create. You are encouraged to trust your own creativity, to enjoy it, and to use it to help heal yourself and perhaps others too. And this is interesting actually, because I was feeling recently that our creations and what we create and do on this earth are actually just ways for us to heal ourselves. So we're creating things for ourselves actually. And I look at this when I look at my coaching, it's like I really transform myself through my coaching and through my creations. If we think about, like, if we're painting a picture or we're expressing ourselves or singing, it's like we're healing ourselves through that expression. We're singing a song from like deep down inside of us that we're connected to emotionally. We're painting a picture with meaning and has meaning for us. So it's really tuning into your creation and how it actually can be self-healing. So what you are doing here and why you are doing it for yourself first actually. And this is real self-love, allowing yourself to be in your creation fully and do it for that love of creation and for yourself, the love of yourself. So when Archangel Gabriel enters your life, there will be an emphasis on the use of sound for healing and balance. So the words you use, affirmations for example, and the invocations will be very powerful. So will music, and you may use sound to help balance and restore your energy. And this is really interesting as well, because I've just started singing lessons and I've really connected to sound because it's in that voice frequency. And this is what we're kind of been pushed to use our voice as well. And it's in the air frequency. So sound is an air frequency. We hear it, it travels through air. So it's really good to connect to sound on a vibrational level as well. It creates vibrations in our system. So this is like sound healing, singing bowls, umming, chanting. These kind of practices would be really beneficial to include right now as well, and to connect to allow you to come back to you and to come back to the sounds that we're all capable of producing through our voices, our vocal cords, our bodies, and using this instrument instead of anything external to express ourselves. This is quite nice how much it's tying in. You might not immediately solve an issue, but start doing what you need to take care of yourself, knowing resolution, it's on its way. And this is like taking baby steps. Look after yourself first and put your own needs first, and then you can start to tune into what you want on an external level that comes from a deep desire inside of you as opposed to a need. So we're tuning into our wants, and if we have needs, we're looking at them, where they're coming from, why we're looking for them to be filled externally, and filling ourselves back up full of love. So yes, it was a little bit longer than I expected, but thank you for tuning in. And again, like I said, if you liked the video, please like and share. If it resonates with you, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. One last thing before I go, and I promise this is the last thing. I've just kind of tuned into the energy that I carried through this whole video, and it felt kind of like a rushing kind of energy, like trying to get the message across quickly. And what I've really been experiencing through myself in my own body and my own awareness over the last kind of few months is this energy of a need to slow down, to speed up. So I am intentionally saying this and consciously saying this because I'm witnessing myself in this kind of hurry energy still sometimes. And when actually what we need right now is to slow down so that we can feel more, so that we can make the decisions, clear the space, and set intentions behind the seeds that we want to set going forward. So if you find yourself in that kind of frantic chaos energy, getting swept up with the storm, it's really important to slow down, go easy on yourself, take your time, breathe. Be with yourself, sit with how you feel, clear space, set intentions, be clear and clean about what you want, and then you can align your energy behind moving forward, and then you can start to speed up again. So at the moment, the eye of the storm is the peaceful place that we want to be, not swept by the chaos. So just a little reminder to take your time, be gentle on yourself, and to slow down and become more present as much as you can. Lots of love.